Hi, my name is Richie Smythe, and I'd like to thank you for purchasing my self-defense video called Tactical Self-Defense. I started training martial arts when I was around 10 years old. I've studied many different disciplines, certain types of karate, Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, mainly an art called Daito-Raika Jiu-Jitsu. It's a very rare art, it's the art of the samurai, and I've been doing it probably for the last 25 years. I'm a 4th degree black belt in that. I also have black belts in other disciplines, but I'm not really here about that. I've developed what I believe is one of the most comprehensive and really secure videos on women's self-defense. I see a lot of the self-defense videos out there online, and I've viewed them and they simply don't work. And the reason why they don't work is because a lot of them will work a man against a man. I've tested them on women and they don't work. The techniques that I've developed will definitely work for a woman because unfortunately men are stronger than women. And there's a lot of violent attackers out there, assailants, that are looking for you as a victim. What I'm going to teach you is not to be a victim, to be an opponent. Assailants don't want opponents, they want victims. And at the end of the day, you're going to feel more secure, you're going to be able to leave your work feeling confident, you're going to get in better shape. You're also going to know what to do, God forbid, if something does happen to you. The most important is the preventative. And people are unaware of their surroundings. They're looking at their cell phones, they're looking at things from work, they're just unaware of what's around you. But what you don't realize, an assailant could be watching you. And if he is, he's a professional at what he does. And sooner or later, you could be a victim. The second part of the technique, the second part of the program that I'm going to do is self-defense techniques. That's from several different attacks that I feel are going to be something that an assailant is going to do. That's how to break out of those holes and how to escape. Most of the holes that you see on videos today will allow you to escape, but what you have to do is totally incapacitate your assailant. You have to make sure that he cannot follow you. So I want you to pay close attention. I want you to practice the techniques. And I hope that this video helps you, your daughter, your mother, your sister, or anybody else that you want to give it to.
Hi, I'm Richie's wife, Tracy. I'm probably the main reason he's putting together this instructional video, which if I had had access to this, what I'm about to tell you would never have happened, or I would have avoided it. It's not a pretty story. But it's a story every woman should listen to, should pay attention to. I don't want anybody else to go through what I did. I want to talk to you about trust and being distracted and thinking that it can never happen to you. I grew up in Vermont, a small rural town, and I felt safe. It was a great upbringing. I moved to Washington, D.C. and lived there for 7 years. And I toughened myself up a lot, and I thought I was impervious to any attack, impervious and streetwise. And so with that, I moved up here to an even more safe area than it was in Washington, D.C. The story begins with a best friend of mine that I had known for several years. And I knew her family, I knew her mother, I knew her father, her grandparents, and I also knew her brother, and I knew him for quite a long time and was friends with the family. I had a great deal of trust in this family, like anybody would. I'm sure all of you ladies out there trust your husbands, your boyfriends, your family members. Unfortunately, the sad reality is you can never be so sure. You can never protect yourself enough, and you always have to have that knowledge to defend yourself against anything that might come at you from anywhere. This is why it's so important to have this knowledge and to have an instinct to be able to not only not get yourself in the position that I did and I'm about to tell you, but to be able to defend yourself if you do find yourself in that position. To get back to my story, I started dating my best friend's brother. We had been dating 3 or 4 months, and keep in mind, I had known him for almost a year prior to us dating. One night we had gotten into an argument, and we drove home, and we both went into the apartment I was living in at the time. We continued the argument. It wasn't a violent argument. It was heated words that a normal couple would have. And I asked him to leave the apartment. And he said, okay, no problem. Let's just talk about this another time. And I proceeded to get ready for bed like I normally would. I went to the bathroom. I took out my contacts. And for any of you that do not have 20/20 vision and you take off your glasses or take out your contacts, first of all, that's a big disability because you can't see anything. As my husband will tell you, if you can't see, you can't fight. That's one of the most important things to know. If you can't see, you can't fight. You can't defend yourself to your full capacity. So I ended up getting into bed. He was using the bathroom, and I didn't think. I wasn't thinking. I was trusting, and I wasn't capable of defending myself against what happened next. I was under the covers when he put his legs on my arms so I couldn't move. He looked at me and he proceeded to put his one hand on my neck and start crushing it downwards. I was finding it difficult to breathe. I was starting to get scared. At first it didn't seem real, and then I was starting to panic. He took his other hand and he beat me pretty badly across my face, back and forth. My ear was bleeding, my nose was bleeding, I had contusions on the side of my head, my lip was bloody. And then he decided to stop hitting me and put his other hand around my throat. During this time, I managed to yell out one scream. That's all I got. I got one scream out before his other hand came crushing down on my neck. I never want anybody to be in this position where your life is being choked out of you, where you can't breathe, you're panicking. All of a sudden you feel, oh my goodness, I didn't say bye to my mom and dad. What's going to happen to my cats that I had at the time? And things started to go black on me. I could start seeing things fade. My next recollection are sirens, because fortunately for me, even though it wasn't fortunate before that I could hear everything in the apartment building, but this time, thankfully, someone heard me scream, called the police immediately, and it is the only reason I'm here today. It's the only reason he took his hands off my throat. I rolled off the bed and crawled to the front door. He had already gone running from the police and they caught him outside. Sadly, that's only half of what was so bad about it. I was a victim all over again, being processed. I was taken out in a police car, driven to the station, treated not so much as a victim, but actually part of the problem. The police there treated it as if it were, you know what, maybe you did something wrong to cause this. That's how I felt. I don't want you to go through this. I don't want your mother, your sister, your aunt, your daughter to ever go through this. So please pay attention closely to everything Richie has to tell you, especially part one. Had I known, had I had the mindset to prevent being in that position, that would never have happened to me. I would never have been in the situation where I was that I couldn't even defend myself.
Hi ladies, it's me again. And this is, for me, the most important part of the video, preventative. Right now, you're leaving work. It could be broad daylight like it is now. It's a beautiful day, but there's nobody around. You see a strange character walking outside, just standing there, and he doesn't look like he's all there. So most of you would just think he's harmless and would just walk out anyway, being unaware, maybe on your cell phone. and that could be dangerous. My advice to you, get a security guard, call someone, don't take a risk. I walked by her like I was going into the building because she didn't use precautions. She's on her phone. She didn't wait for the security guard. So by me doing this, she actually started to tap out because it choked her that bad. One of the techniques that you're going to learn is to get out of this so that your balances are broken. But remember, time, speed, and these things have to be practiced that you can do them. Otherwise, here's the alternative, this dark corner. Make sure you use precaution and be safe. Hi ladies, this is scenario number 2. You saw what could happen if you were not prepared in the first scenario. Now, everybody has cars. This is what you're not supposed to do when you're getting into your vehicle. And I'm going to show you what you're supposed to do. When you're getting into your vehicle, you're unaware again of your surroundings. Don't think that you're safe. Most serial rapists or just people that are looking to catch your money are watching you. If you are the last one to leave every day from work at a certain time, it's routine. They want that. They want people that are just constantly doing the same thing over and over again because you're an easy mark, an easy victim. So, with that being said, my teacher wrote a book on serial rapists, and he interviewed them in prison, and he found out what their MO was. They watch you for quite some time. They know where you live, they know where you work, they know where you go to lunch. Then they actually plan the time of attack. Then what they do after that is they plan their escape route. Everything is well orchestrated. They're professionals at what they do. You're not. So I'm going to show you what not to do when you get into your car and what you're supposed to do to keep yourself safe. So in other words, awareness, that's key. Being aware of your surroundings. Don't be the last one. Break routine. Don't always park in the same spot. Don't always be the last one out the door. And moreover, don't think you're always safe because you're not. Okay, what she just did was the wrong thing. She opened up a car around 20 or 30 yards away. And that's a big mistake. Most people do it. You know, some of these cars, they're 40, 50 yards away. And to be honest with you, I've done it myself. What you have to basically do is not put yourself as a victim. By doing that, you're going to end up in harm's way. And now I'm going to show you how. Drive.
I wasn't paying attention. I just was going about my normal everyday business like I do. Hopped in the car, started it. Never dreamt in a million years someone would hop in the car with me. It's very scary. And that even more so. You're dead.
Okay, notice that Tracy's now approaching the vehicle the correct way. She just wants to make sure nobody's around. She's not in a vehicle, she's safe. Now she's going to enter it. Now again, ladies, the windows are open because we want you to hear. What did she do differently? Well, let me tell you. Most of these vehicles have a 15 to a 30-second delay. If your car locks right away, good for you. If it doesn't, what she did differently, two things. One, she surveyed the vehicle. She made sure nobody was lurking around. Nobody was kneeling behind the tire. Nobody was walking by close enough that she could get in. When she hopped into her car, she locked the car before she started it. These vehicles, normally when you drive away, 15 seconds later when you're off the road at 20 miles an hour, they lock. That's not going to help you. When you get in your car, lock your doors first. Don't worry about your phone right now. You shouldn't be on it anyway. Start your vehicle. Now your windows are up, your doors are locked, you're ready to move on with your trip, and I'm not in the back seat with a switchblade. this is the way that you're supposed to enter your vehicle safely. So we've spoken about this object, the cell phone. Most people use this all the time. It's attached to them. Coming out, you're unaware of where you are. You're on your phone or you're texting. Let me show you a way that you can use it, not as a weapon, but as something that can help you. Instead of being on the phone, set your phone to 911. That's all you have to do is press a button. Have it on you, not to talk, but as a preventative measure. That's number one. Number two, we have keys. Notice on my key, it says panic. Everybody has a red button on their key. It might not say panic. Most of us use, if you're attacked, is to set off the alarm. The lights will go. Assailants don't want that. They're going to flee. Again, they only have a 20 to around 40-second window, not even a minute, to do what they have to do. This is going to make them a little uneasy, and they're going to run away. Now, number three, keys. You've probably heard this before, but none of you, I can guarantee you, walk out of your home or wherever you are, of your work, and make a rake. I have 3 keys right here. I put them in between my fingers, like so. I can make them longer, I can get more keys, using this as a rake. So, I can use this as a rake to defend myself. I have my panic button right here on my key as well. So I can use either one. Now some of you say, well, you know, my vehicle, I don't have a key. It's a push button. Then I suggest, if you don't have house keys on it, you can get blank keys in a hardware store. Make a rake out of it. Use this as a weapon. Also last, get pepper spray. You can get them in any hardware store. You can get them in a camping store. Have that with you. If you don't want to use pepper spray, I don't use hairspray, I use gel, with little hair I have left. You can get a small can of hairspray, a little Aquanet. That is something that's going to shoot, spray it in their eyes. Now, a scenario would be, my wife Tracy comes over here, if you will. She has a rake. Okay, now I'm an assailant, and I'm about to approach her, and I want to know what time it is, or whatever. Or if she knows where Building C is. Hey, do you know where Building C is? And she just says to me, no, I don't know. But she has a can of hairspray in her hand over there, a small can or a thing of mace. Now, if I go to attack her, as soon as I go, her instinct would be to spray me. If she lets me get too close, that's a mistake. Now she's going to have to use option 2 to rake my face. Stick me in the eyes. As she said before, if you can't see, you can't fight. If you can't breathe, you can't fight. And if you can't walk, you can't fight. Once again, not to repeat myself, they don't want opponents, they want victims. She shouldn't even let me get this close. She should just say, over there. If he continues to approach her and get closer and closer, why would he do that? If he's looking to get that close, to ask you for the time, I can hear from here. That means he's up to no good, ladies. If he is, warn him, don't come any closer. You heard what I had to say. If he continues to, he's going to grab you. Then you spray him in the eye with the hairspray or the mace. If for some reason he ends up getting too close, you have this. You also have your cell phone. If I'm raked just like this and I instantly just go away, she should flee. She can hit 911. Keep the hairspray. That is one of the things. If somebody gets too close to you, they ask you a question, unless you know them intimately, don't let them in your space. We all have this private space. We even feel too uncomfortable when someone sits too close to us on a bus. We'll slide away. So why would you let them into your space? This, again, is just a preventative measure that nobody's going to ask you for the time. Nobody's going to want to get that close to you. They ask you a question with Bill or whatever it may be. Well, that's a lovely watch you have on. Can I see it? Don't let them in your space. Hi again, ladies. We've just got done with the preventative part of the course, and hope you got some valuable information and insight. Now, if unfortunately you're in a situation where an assailant is upon you, there's going to be several different types of attacks that I've seen online that most perpetrators do. We're going to be going through a series of attacks, what he will do, what doesn't work, what I've seen online, and what I feel will be the best recourse for you to escape the attack and also to render him incapacitated. One of the first attacks that a guy will do is either a single or a double wrist grip. His idea is to pull you into a car. Most women, what they'll do is they'll resist and they'll go the other way. I'm far much stronger and heavier. Most men are. And I'll just pull her wherever I want her to go, wherever it may be. So, most people, or most women, what they'll do is they'll try and resist. They'll either pull the other way or they'll try and escape. Try and escape, please. No, it's not going to work. Now, one simple lever that you can use to escape a double wrist grip will be very simple. I'm going to grab Tracy with both hands as tight as I can. Take notice, there's always going to be some sort of a space, even if it overlaps. This is the weakest point between the thumb and middle finger. She's going to use that to escape. There's a couple of things she can do. She can, number one, just escape, which she'll do now. So I'm going to be grabbing her tight. Notice that she's using a lever through both, grabbing both hands and pulling out. I can't hold on. If you don't think it's going to work, try it at home. Once again, I'm going to grab her really tight with both hands, like so, as if I was going to pull her. She comes through. I can't hold on, and she can flee and escape. Now, that's only going to allow her to escape. Now, if she wants to do more bodily harm to the assailant, which I wish she would, I'm going to grab her, and I'm going to pull. Now, most people will just pull this way. So I say, if he wants me, he can have me. So as I go to pull, she's not going to pull away. There's something that is a known fact in judo. If you push, I pull. If you pull, I push. You want to go on the path of least resistance. I grab her. Normally, the wrong behavior would be she's going to pull back and she's going to lose. Remember I said in judo, you push, I pull, you pull, I push. Opposites. Now, as I go to pull her, he's assuming she's going to resist me. She doesn't. I go to pull. As I pull, I get a shot in the esophagus. If you get a shot in the throat, I don't care how big you are, I don't care how strong you are. An Adam's apple is an Adam's apple. If you get hit in the throat, whether you're 6'4", 300 pounds, or you're 5 feet, your Adam's apple is going to be crushed. You're not going to be able to breathe. You can't breathe, you can't fight. You get hit in the Adam's apple really, really hard, that person is going to be incapacitated. So she's not going to resist me. She's just going to come toward me. So you have two ways. One, last, by simple escape. It could be a boyfriend that is grabbing a hold of your daughter and wants her to go one way. She doesn't want to go. And I go to grab on, and she pulls out, and she leaves. Or it could be something worse where now you're getting dragged away. And instead of her pulling away from me, she goes to pull away, which she's going to lose, she says, fine, I'll go with you. And there's a strike into the esophagus. Once I get hit into that throat, I'm done. I'm not going to have nothing left. I'm going to be holding my throat, gasping for air. She's going to escape. That is the double wrist grip escape. That is one of the first attacks and one of the more common ones that you're going to see out there. Practice it. Second defense. Maybe it's not a double wrist grip. Maybe it's a single one. Here's why he would use a single wrist grip. He grabs a hold of you. Now, he doesn't have as much leverage, but this hand is free, and he wants to slap you. Most of the time, what most people will do is they'll just try and pull away. She goes to pull away. It's not going to happen, and she ends up getting struck. That's what you don't want. What you want to happen now is you have to now have an order of defense. As I go to slap her, she uses a tight block. Notice that she's protecting her head. If she goes to reach for the block and she does a block where she's coming out and extending, her arm will collapse. For most ladies, I tell them to use that cupping the ear. Just pretend you're cupping your ear. Boom, here. Now, in order to escape, she comes from where my thumb is. That's the weakest point. Now she has an elbow that will come across my face, either this way or this way, and now she also has a groin shot where she can come right in. It works. She hit me one time. It wasn't pleasant. I was talking soprano for a couple of days, so I can tell you right now, any guy that knows that he's been hit there, you're not going to be moving around too well. Okay, correct way. I go to grab her. I go to slap. She's up like this. She comes across. She comes back this way. She escapes, and the knee goes into the groin. So essentially what is happening is you're coming across this way, because your elbow is already in place. You're coming back. You're escaping, and the knee then is coming right up into the groin. So that is the best way to escape a single grip. That's going to work for a woman. Guys, there's a ton of different things. You probably know what they are. But for your wife or your girlfriend, it's the easiest. That's technique number 2. Okay, this is a scary one, ladies. Front choke. Tracy told you a story. She was being choked laying down. Front choke is one of the most common. What happens is the assailant goes to choke. Most women will just grab a hold of your wrist trying to pry it off. That's not going to work. Now, what you're going to see online, what I've seen many times, it just simply doesn't work, is coming over and trying to break the arms free. So she comes up. It's not working. It's not working, is it? I wasn't even grabbing it hard. I didn't want to choke it that hard. Okay, now they'll show you another way. Here's the problem. She's not as strong as I am. Most men are far stronger than women. And most people say, well, hey, you're a bodybuilder, you're strong. Men are strong. They're far stronger than women. Sorry. So now we need something that's going to work. Well, there's 2 things. One is just a simple escape, if you know you're safe. And one is to incapacitate your assailant, so he's not going nowhere. So to begin, I go to choke her. She just turns away. Again, no matter how hard I'm choking her, as soon as she turns her body and pushes away, the grip is released, even if I go with her. That's only going to get him off. The one I prefer is a little bit more lethal. Now, she's going to do this slow, otherwise this video is not going to continue. So I go to grab her, and I'm shaking her, and what she does is she right into here. Notice I got a shot in the esophagus. The reason why Tracy will choke me, the reason why you don't want to slap this, you want to just drape this here. As soon as I break her balance, she gets a shot into the esophagus. Now, you might say, well, you know, I tried that on my husband, and he's really tall. Sorry, I'm not that tall, but I'm going to try and make it that way, where I'm sort of like all the way out like this, okay? It doesn't matter, okay? So as soon as she breaks, I'm going to come down. That's breaking my balance. This is key element in this attack. This shot, ladies, has to be a hard, hard strike. Don't just place it there. You're striking because your life depends on it. If you don't, you're dead. So once again, once I'm doing this, she places her arm, breaks my balance, and that's it. Game over. That's an escape from a front choke. One of the scarier holds is a choke hold. You've seen it outside. The reason why it's scarier is the element of surprise. You don't know. Someone comes from behind you. You don't see it coming. You saw Tracy outside. She went right down. I dragged her wherever I wanted to. It gives the assailant really most of the leverage in the upper hand. From the front choke, you see what's coming at you. Now you don't. Normally what happens is he'll come from behind you. He'll grab here, he'll clench his hands tight and start to apply pressure to your throat. He'll drag you backwards where he wants you to go. His goal is to break you off balance. As he breaks you off balance, your own body is creating a noose on your arm. Most people, what they'll do, and I've seen, is they'll try and pry free. If she tries to pry free, that's not going to happen. Now, what I've seen online is really sort of stupid. Now, a lot of times I wear Timberland boots. I got sneakers on. It don't much matter. I go to grab her, and there's the stomp, if you can find it, and the scrape. I mean, really? She's tripping me up. It's not going to work. whether you have a heel on or a shoe, and you're more awkward, and you're more stumbling and cumbersome, the stomp and the scrape is only going to aggravate me. There's a very easy way to get out of this hold. Now, I've heard people say, well, what if he does it like this? Unless he's an MMA fighter, most of them don't know, and I can get out of that too. The whole thing is when you feel a choke, don't wait. Panic will get you killed. Delay will get you killed. As soon as you feel a hold, you have to instantly react to it. What you don't want to do, he's not going to stand here and whisper sweet nothings in your ear. He's going to take you off balance immediately. So, now with that being said, as soon as I come from behind her, I'm going to be grabbing her, trying to get her off balance. She's going to pull down. She's going to spin quickly. I'm going to get one right in the groin right now. It's coming up. She's being careful with that because she got me once with it. Now you're probably saying, that's not going to work. Okay. I'm going to do it tighter. And I'm going to do it a little quicker. So I come around. I did it as tight as I could. Yeah, she struggled a little bit, but I want this to be realistic. And I want you to see what can happen. Just by dropping down a little bit lower and coming in, you'll be able to escape. Okay? I'm going to do it one more time. Quickly. Oh, by the way, I just want to let you know, she dropped down a little bit lower. Take notice, I just bit my tongue. Excellent job, Tracy.
I'm so sorry.
She just apologized. No big deal. Guess what? A little bonus, what my teacher used to call a gazunka, whatever that means. She just took her shoulder. I got slammed into the chin. We're going to do that in slow motion, okay? Slow motion now. I come in. I'm choking. She drops down. Bam. I ate that. Oof. Now, I get it in the groin. Boom. That's all you got to do to get out of a choke. Prying, stomping, scraping, it's not going to work. It doesn't. That's technique number 3. Okay, next, I get to choke my wife again. On the next technique, it's one that I don't see often, but I'm going to entertain it because anything can happen. It's a rear choke, but it's not a rear, the one I just did was called a mugger's grip. This is a real rear choke, where somebody's actually doing this to you. Again, they would probably do this, but you never know what crazy you're going to get, right? So, I come from behind. Most people, they're getting choked. They're going to try and pry it off. They'll do that whole thing. It's not going to work. Again, I'm going to grab her with a little bit more force, and she's just going to do what she did before. Spawning up. She drops down a little bit. Now I'm going to do it slowly. She's going to do it slowly. So as I choke her, and I'm choking and I'm shaking or whatever, she drops her centers down a little bit. By doing that, she's slightly breaking a hold, boom, coming up. I'm going to catch that. Game over. If I get caught in the groin really hard, again, guys know that hurts a lot. You need 3 minutes. 3 minutes, you're going to be in your car by then, calling the police. That is the next technique, which is a rear choke. Again, you might not see it often, but you never know. The next technique is a rear bear hug. My wife had said, oh, a guy's not going to do that. Well, we're watching on the news one day. A lady is going to get her mail. She's going in to get in her hallway. She gets her mail out. Assailant comes from behind in a bear hug, lifts her off, throws her onto the ground, punches her a couple of times, grabs her Louis Vuitton bag, and takes off. She goes, you better put that in. So I'm going to. Now, what most people are going to do is when they attack from the rear bear hug, and we're going to do arms pinned too, is they'll come from behind, and they're going to try the stomp and scrape, or the headbutt thing, coming back from behind. Now, you might miss. I doubt that's going to work. My goal is to pick her up and toss her down. What she simply has to do is a couple of things. She has to, number one, spread her feet out, drop her centers down, prevent her from being picked up. I'm strong, and I can get her off the ground, but I can't toss her. Now, she can use her head to come back because I'm in a position now to get cracked, and I just did. Right there, more than likely, he's not going to be doing that. If he does right from there, she then, as soon as she does that, can either do two things. She can spin, so she's going to spin to her right, spin around like that, and get out. Because right now, what if I just caught one in the kisser, which I did, I'm going to be able, if she's not allowed to, if she can't get out to spin, she can use her knuckle and punch the bone in my hand. So just by striking down, those bones are very, very sensitive. If she has the keys, she can jab her rake into my hand, and that's going to allow me. But notice, as soon as she drops down, right now, she's became very heavy. Her head goes right up into my face because now she's level. If she's upright, and I go to grab her, and I have my head here, it's going to be a little bit harder. Or even, let's just say I'm taller than she is, and I'm all the way up here. I'm 6 feet tall, and she goes to headbutt me, and she gets me in the chest. But if she drops down, right from here, boom. What she also has is her elbow. She can come across an elbow being the side of the head or on the other side. So she's got that. So she's got options. What you want to make sure that happens here, ladies, is that you don't get thrown on the ground. The next bear hug, someone said, well, what if their arms are pinned? I got to remember, this is a woman. She's not as strong as I am. Two things. Most men, when they just grab women, they just grab a hold of you. Again, they want to toss you. The real way to grab somebody is actually lower, over here. Doesn't really matter what I do. If I grab her like this, okay, she's going to drop down again. Okay, now I'm going with her. But now her arms are pinned. Okay, so I can't toss her. So that's the main thing. So then what she's going to do is she's going to come up. She had momentum. That's how she got away. Okay, she had momentum. We're going to do this slowly so you can see it. Okay? If she didn't drop down and come back up again, she's not going to break the hold. That's what I said. You have to practice these. If you practice them, they'll work. It's like playing a piano. If you practice it, you'll be good at it. It's the same thing. Practice makes perfect. When you get this video, do it with your sister, do it with your friend, do it with anybody. Practice the techniques. Okay, so once again, this is going to be slowly. I grab a hold of her. My goal is to toss her. She doesn't allow that. Now she becomes very heavy. She comes up slowly and at the same time breaks free. Okay? So one more time. I have a good tight grip on her. She drops. She doesn't want me to toss her. She comes up and at the same time she breaks free like this. Now what she can do from here is spin around, face me, and knee me in the groin. Or if she wants, from behind, she can elbow me in the solar plexus. Boom, where I'm just going to take one into the rib cage, back and forth. Either one of those attacks. You have to start to practice striking. A lot of the things that I showed you into the esophagus was striking and blocking. Now, if an assailant attacks you, most men don't just start throwing lefts and rights into women like it's all a brawl. Guys do that to guys. The reason why there's a lot of grips and chokes and grabs and so on and so forth is because that's what men do to women. Also, one other one I'm going to show you, and this you can call an encore. This is one that more or less an assailant wouldn't do. This would be maybe a boyfriend that wants his girlfriend to go with him and doesn't want to let go of her. He gives her a bear hug, and he doesn't want her to let go. More than likely what she's going to try and do is maybe just push away, or she's going to try and knee him, which she's not going to get. She has to pry him back. So what she's going to do is she's going to put her hand under the chin, strike me, where I'm going to get pried back. Now my body goes backwards. Now she has a shot to the groin, which is going to come up. This one's really not for an assailant. This is for maybe your daughter's with a boyfriend, and the assailant's really not going to be giving you a bear hug and wanting to kiss you, okay? He's like, you're coming with me, or, you know, I don't want to let you go type thing. That's another one for you. We can call it an encore. Now, as far as the blocking and striking, if I go to throw a punch at her, like I said, if I had her, her best defense is to cup her ear, use a tight thing like that, and now she has elbows and she has knees. When she strikes, okay, she's going to make a tight fist, like so. You don't want to have this You don't want to have this. This, you'll break your thumb. I've seen ladies, don't do this. I know you might have nails. Try and make a tight fist like this, okay? You're going to vertically strike into the throat. Soft tissue. You don't want to hit onto the head. You're going to end up breaking your hand on his head. Soft tissue strikes here. Xiphoid process. She can make her hands open, where she'll open up her hands and use a gouge to the eyes, gouging my eyes. Somebody gets poked in the eye, they're done. So practice striking, kicking, and blocking is like the blocks and strikes that I showed you. Once again, proper block is coming up, using elbows coming across, boom, strikes, okay, good connection on that one, okay. If she keeps her hands up like so, striking back and forth, coming this way in vertical strikes. These type of roundhouse, type of open punches are very telegraphic. You're striking in vital, vital areas. And that's how you're basically going to be able to bring an assailant to his knees. One of the main components of my art, Aika Jiu-Jitsu, is weapons. Sticks, bats, guns, knives. People carry knives. They don't carry guns as much because you do a lot more time. But a lot of them will brandish a knife. They'll attack with a knife. They'll mug you with a knife. Now, coming in the future installments that we're going to be having is going to be knife defenses on several different types of variations and attacks. Now, Tracy wants my money. Well, she's already has it, but she wants my money. And she wants to make it scary. She could do it there. She wants to even make it more threatening, like she's going to take my eye out. Now, I always tell people, if you don't think he's going to really do harm to you, just give him your money. How much could you have on you? Stop your credit card. Let him run away. But if you think he's really going to hurt you, a couple of things that you can do. Okay? You just say, you know, give me my money. She goes to take it. I'm going to slightly lean back. The knife is gone. There's a wrist lock that comes here, which I'm not going to do because it's very painful. It's called kota gaesh. It's breaking the wrist. But notice where the knife is. It's 10 yards away. It's all the way over there. I don't have to struggle with that person. We're not gonna, the knife is gone. And that's what you're going to see in the future. Hope you enjoy it. Hi ladies, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you got a lot out of it. Remember, you're going to need to practice everything that I showed you, especially in section 2 of all the releases, choke holds, and all the grips. Make sure that you reinforce your techniques. Practice makes perfect, as I said before. You're going to have to rehearse this over and over again. Do it with your mother, your daughter, sisters, friends. Show them the video. Make everybody aware of it. Also, too, be aware of prevention. That, for me, is the most important part of it. Watch it over and over again. Be aware of your surroundings. Use all the tools and all the devices and things that I showed you to your advantage. Make sure that you're not you're not a victim, you're an opponent. Sales don't want opponents. I also want to thank my wife, Tracy, for helping me out and sort of being my throw dummy and getting choked around a little bit. And I really appreciate everybody's time. Hope you got a lot out of the video. We're going to be also shooting another one, which is going to be ground defenses, knife attacks with weapons. I hope you never have to use it, but that's going to be coming soon. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.